Okay, let's look at how we use Desmos to do regression. So when you first open up Desmos, you get this blank screen. And the first thing we want to do is we're going to enter data. And so we're going to add an item and we're going to add a table. And so we get this blank table. And we have to pay attention to what the variables that are given to us. So x of 1 and y sub 1. And here is the data that we're going to use. So we're going to use the number of monthly active Facebook Messenger users from April 2014 to July 2016. And I have gone ahead and entered that information. So notice that my input is going to be the number of months since January of 2014. And so that means April the third month, and so on and so forth. So we have all our data set there. And so now once we have our information in there, we're going to start a new line. And this is where we tell Desmos how we want to do this. And keep in mind that a line or an equation of best fit, a regression model, is an approximation. And so when we do approximation, we use the approximation symbol. So we're going to make sure we have variable agreement. So that's x1 and y1. So y1, and it's sub 1, it's automatic when you type in the 1, it knows to be a subscript. And we're going to use the approximate key, so it's the little tilde. And if we're doing a linear approximation, that's ax1 plus b. And so here you'll see that the parameters that are given to us are such that our vertical intercept is 182.1, and the constant rate of change is 27.623 million users per month. Okay, again, understanding what our input and output variables are. So that's what that represents. Now, if we want to do an exponential regression, it's y1. And using the exponential model, it's a b raised to the, again, variable agreement has to be x1 or sub 1, and again, it automatically defaults to that. Now, in terms of regression, exponential regression, we want to hit the log mode to give us the factor of 1.0536. and a vertical intercept of 240.4, or 0,240.4. Okay, so now we have both models calculated. If we wanted to find a value, so let's say that we want to know when, so what month is the number of millions of Facebook Messenger users is 475. So we know that that's an output value, and so we're going to add a new line, and y equals 425. And so now we know that the calculator or the graphing Desmos has graphed this horizontal line, and so now we just need to scroll to find that. And so we're going to zoom out, and you'll notice that the two models are graphed for us. The black one is the exponential, and the purplish one is the linear one, and then our red one is going to be the output value of 425 million users. And then we simply click on the value on each one of the lines. If you click and just hold it, it'll give you our answers for each one of those, whether it is a linear model or an exponential model. Now, if we know an input value and want to find out the output value, we have to do it in a little bit different manner. So we have to do them individually. So in this case, let's first figure out what, so I deleted both and I want to look at the linear model. I want to know how many users, how many millions of users there were in month 25. So it's somewhere between 800 and 900 users. So we want to look at this in terms of what that means. So I'm going to start a new line. So I deleted the other lines. I want to start a new line, and this time I want f of x equals, and again, our Constant rate of change is our A value, and our vertical intercept is our B value. But these are rounded numbers, so we don't want to use the rounded numbers. We want to use the entire number that's stored in Desmos. And so we know that that number is stored in A, and then we construct the constant rate of change times the variable plus the vertical intercept. And so we now know that this function represents, using these A and B values that were rounded here, it's going to use the entire value. So now I want to know when in month 25, so I'm going to evaluate the function in month 25, and you see here that it's 872.69 million users in that month. We could do the same thing, and we don't have to change our F25 if we wanted to do it for exponential, but right now we have a linear model, so we want to change our model. Instead of doing a linear model, we want to approximate the exponential model. So we go back to what we had done before, AB raised to the x1. And so, again, putting it in the log mode. It's not important that you understand why we're doing this. The log mode, we'll talk about that in a 151 class. And now we don't want a linear function, we want the exponential function, so AB raised to the x. And so now our f of 25 is calculated using this exponential model based on the A and B values from the exponential regression, and we find out that 25 months later, later than January of 14, that we have 887.72 million Facebook Messenger users.